Scout back today from up in Minnesota. Took the cub up there yesterday and I brought this back today. I'll take it apart and recover it. It needs attention pretty badly. You can see the blotches on the bottoms of the wings and stuff, and has these cracks and rotten places on the fabric. So it needs attention pretty bad. Fuselage has got kinds of cracks and so anyway, this is my next project. I'm just going to recover it. I don't have to do a lot of other work to it, I don't think. See, the stuff's just come completely off of the paint, and the dope's just come completely off the tops of the wings. They used some kind of a paint over the dope, and that stuff doesn't stick, and it just makes a mess. They just keep doing that over and over again, it seems. But anyway, when I get done, it'll have a dope finish on it. It'll be good for years, I hope. Okay, we thought there was a chance that it might storm tonight, and the Scout's just a little bit too big to fit in the hanger with the Colt, and I didn't want to leave either one of them out, so we just got and took the wings off it. My son and my wife helped, and we got the wings off it tonight, so tomorrow I can start on something. Okay, I've taken some stuff apart here. We're taking the tail off. These, you can see how badly bent these plywood formers are. That's what they do under the pressure of the fabric over the years. And then a lot of people make the mistake of recovering over them, and then they fail almost immediately under the strain of the new fabric, and that makes a kind of a mess. So hopefully we'll put new ones in and it'll be a lot better off than that. I was hoping that I would find some kind of fittings in here for those water, or those fins, but I don't see anything in here, and I don't see the float fittings. I think that's where they go. I'm not sure. I'll have to research that a little bit more, but I don't see any there, so I kind of doubt that that it has them. Took the fabric off the top of this wing. Got to look around here at it. Get it on off. Looks pretty good. The wood looks pretty much like it's brand new. Don't see any sign of any don't see anything that looks like any cracks or anything yet. I haven't gotten a good look underneath the gas tank, but I don't see any sign of any potential failures anywhere. it appears that it has these reinforced ribs here, and then one here, and that makes me think that it was made to have a gas tank in this area. Apparently they just snipped these ribs right, well, I guess right here. Looking at this one here, and it looks like that's what they must do. And then this piece is built onto the gas tank. It appears that for some reason this in this vent, there's a leak there. Looks like maybe that clamp's not too pure, but I don't really know why it shouldn't leak very much from that. But I don't see any stains on the gas tanks. The gas tanks have got bumps on the bottom to weld fittings on. I don't know if you can see that or not. If I can get the thing to focus on it. There we go. But there's a place where the gas tank extends out down just a little bit, which apparently is the weld where the weld nuts go on. Leading edge looks all nice and straight. It's got, of course, I put this cheesecloth on. I think it works really good. I started doing that on even on my Cubs and stuff. I think that works really nice to put some cloth over that and then cover over it. But so far everything looks pretty good. There's a little bit of rust around I see around the tail wheel where the tail wheel spring bolts on, but I think it's just surface rust. I don't think it's anything serious at this point. So I think I'm going to call it a day. Okay, I spent the day taking the interior out, took the headliner out and side panels and disconnected stuff, took some of the wiring and stuff out that has to come out. We're talking about see what they did is they just stapled that side panel down to the floor. You put the floor in, you staple it down, and you can't take it back out until you take the staples out. It's a really poor setup, but that's the way Bellanca does it anyway. And they also put a lot of staples in where the headliner goes in. This piece across here, there's a piece of wood, and then they put a bunch of staples in that. And the headliner has to be partially put in before I cover it, and then I have to take and wrap it up with masking paper and then cover it and paint it and then unfurl it and then finish putting it in around the edges. It's kind of a nuisance the way they do it, but that seems to be what they did when they made the thing. I don't know how else to do it. Got more of the stuff cleaned off here. The ELT mount was the factory mount. The only thing is it was made for an EBC, which is a vertical ELT, where the ELT that you have is a horizontal one. And I could take and extend this thing a little bit and make it, which is what they tried to do when they put it in, but that's where the factory mounted the ELT when they made the airplane. It is attached to the structure more or less. It's got screws. You see, this thing will focus. Focus on that tube that's closer to us here. Guess I'm not going to get it. But anyway, there's screws into the wood frame and into the floor and into the window frame and that piece of metal. Let's see, what else have we done here? Of course, I took all this stuff out up above and stuff. It's it's kind of a tangled up mess. It takes a little bit to sort it all out. I don't know if I took a picture of the wing since I finished drilling the rivets out and stuff. A little bit of a mess here on the floor right now. This thing has a hex in it, and you see the tank is depressed a little bit from attempting to push down and turn the thing, and it just obviously isn't going to be able to stand that much pressure applied to it to break that loose. I don't know if I took a picture of it with it upside down or not. The spars, they look like they're really good. I can't see any signs of any cracks or any kind of failure of the spars themselves at all. Nice when I get through taking stuff apart here and I kind of clean this mess up. Some of these nails you see have just backed out. It's pretty common here. You see these, here's backed out quite a ways. That's what the reason for putting the ring groove nails in. Now this one here, see, they're in there pretty good, but there's quite a few of them that have backed out like that, and that's, like I say, that's pretty normal for these wings. Champion wings. Okay, these have just a nail notch cut in where they go into the wood that goes across the fuselage. These each have two nails. This thing I took and measured from here to the holes, and then I corded that there so I can put those back in exactly the same place that I got them from. This first bulkhead, the left one is ahead of the rear one, where it attaches here. Looks like all the bulkheads are the left one, or these two, the left one, these three, the left one is in front. The sheet metal is in front of this one and then behind this one. Similar here, it's behind this one, in front of this one. So anyway, I'll go ahead and take that stuff off of there. Have to, the thing's just really just balanced at this point. So I'll have to take the battery out, I guess. I'll have to put a concrete block or something in the tail to keep it from going over on its nose. So I guess now that I've got a record of how it's put together, I'll go ahead and take it apart. Okay. Yesterday I took all the wood and stuff off, and today I cut out all of the pieces, all the new wood pieces for that, so I'm about to varnish those. I discovered had to go get a different battery. Battery went dead on me here. They got this brown glue on everything, and it's going to interfere with using the glue that we're using. I found that by by wiping it with MEK, and I can soften it up, and it's kind of a tedious job. I can only do a little section of it at a time, but I can clean the stuff off. I did a little bit on one elevator the other day, and I cleaned it off of her stabilizer, and I cleaned off the stabilizer, and then the rest of the pieces of got it here and there. It's kind of like the wing is. It just has where they had a seam, but boy, they sure put a lot of that stuff on, and it's going to mess up our new cement, so I'll have to get it off before I can I got this plug out. I had to drill it out, and I picked the remains of the steel threads out, and I've got it. I think it's going to work like it is. I'll test it before I cover the wing. I want to make sure it doesn't leak before I recover it. So, get back to work here. Okay, I put the lifting ring on. Say there's supposed to be about 40 thousandths clearance between the bolt and the gas tank minimum, and I've got about 1/4 of an inch, so I think that's pretty good. I got all this brown glue cleaned off of the wing. This is the left wing. Apparently there was gas getting underneath. I think it was getting between the fabric and the gas tank. There seemed to be 2 layers of fabric over the gas tank, and I think they must have been having trouble with something like that. The reason I got the lifting rings on today was because the bolts and the cable came today. These are the new stainless steel cables, and the eyes that I put on. There's the Swedgies deals. Spars in this wing look just as good as they did in the other wing. I don't see any cracks or any flaws in them that look like they would be a problem. There's the eyes I put on the bell crank end. So this was just all covered with that brown rubbery glue. It's just really hard to get dumb stuff off. I used, well, I So far I bought 4 gallons of MEK and I haven't started on the fuselage yet. I did one stabilizer and I think an elevator or something. I cleaned the glue off of it. Just put that sticky brown rubber glue on everything. There's some that they had slobbered around the inside, but that shouldn't matter. Do need to get around here and replace some of these nails. So the nails have backed out a little bit. They've backed out in some places, and I'll put in the other wing. I just replaced the ones that were backed out. This piece of leading edge had a dent in it here, and so I took it off and I straightened out the dent. So you shouldn't be able to tell that it had been dented when I get through with it. This piece of leading edge right here, I may have to do something about it. It's got an oil can in it. It's got a kind of a crease right here, and I was trying to figure out a way to get it to behave. It's been somebody or someone put weight on it and stretched it out a little bit. It would look neater if I could figure out a way to get that out of that. Okay, get a little better look at especially the front spar from here. I can't see anything wrong with the spars at all. The wires are good. There's a little bit of primer on the steel parts. I don't see anything seriously rusted. And there's a little bit of surface rust on the strut fitting, but I don't see that they're going to be a problem. Got a kind of a poor vent system. See, I believe that what was happening, I thought I'd put 5 gallons of gas in it and plug up the fuel lines and stuff and see if I can get it to leak out anywhere. I thought maybe I could rotate it around, turn it upside down and stuff, and see if it comes out anywhere. And if it does, figure out why. Got the plug out of this one. See, this was all covered with that brown glue. You see a little bit of it there in the inside of that end rib that extends out of there, and then this is all had that yucky brown glue on it. That all had to come off so we could use the glue that I'm going to use on it. The guy would have had to take it off anyway because it would have been so gloppy that it would have just made a mess. And anyway, that's what I did today. Okay, I'm about ready to put the envelope on. I put the cotton stuff on the leading edge. I replaced these hoses with H6000 hose, and I put spiral clamps on. They had Cessna clamps on, which don't clamp very well, and these clamp quite a bit better. So I'm hoping that that'll help that. I put 5 gallons of gas in the tank, and I put these temporary on these things, and I put a plug in the drain, and then I put 5 gallons of gas in it, and I knew the cap wouldn't hold it, but I put 5 gallons of gas and I turned it upside down and left it upside down for about 15 minutes, and the gas was running out of the vent in the cap, but there was no leakage in the vent system at all until it finally started to run out of the end here, but it didn't leak out of the tubing anywhere. So I don't think there's any leaks in that now. I put a few new nails in where any were backed out. I pulled them out and just put new nails in. There's a couple new nails in there. This end rib caved in, pushed in here by the spars, and what I'm going to do this time, I think, is I'll take the fabric, instead of just covering the rib, I'll come out and come around this tube, and then they can share this end load, and hopefully that'll keep it from doing that. And again, is that Dacron inner rib bracing. Looks like it ought to be a lot better than the old cotton stuff. Got all that brown glue off the metal. I put the struts on earlier this morning and found out where the hole goes here, where the strut's going to come through it, so I know where I want to put the hole where that's going to come through there. Got the new cables in. So I'm ready to put the envelope on. I'll go ahead and start to put that on, and hopefully this afternoon I can get the envelope on and get the first coat of dope on it. Okay, we put the fabric on the left wing, got it. I have it glued down, and it's getting pretty late now. Probably tomorrow morning I'll shrink it and put the first coat of dope on it, and started with the what I did here on the end. I went around the outside of this tube. It was in the rib, and now the rib and the tube will share the load, and then the fabric shouldn't bend that rib in as badly as it was bent in before. So anyway, if I can get it ironed tomorrow and get the first coat of dope on it, well, then we'll be on our way. Okay, I've shrunk the fabric down, made the fitting here around the gas tank, a piece of soft aluminum, and then and then the inside is curled up around it, and then I put a patch over the outside of it. So tomorrow morning I should be able to put a coat of green dope on it, and then we can start putting the reinforcing tape and the rivets in. Turn it over, here's the bottom side. Right, that's the cable has a place to go inside there. So anyway, okay, I've got the left wing, I've got the rivets in, got the tapes on, got 2 coats of green dope on it. I know it looks blue in the camera, or at least it always has, so I assume it still is actually green. Got all appropriate little reinforcements in place, I think. Needs to dry for a few days before we put buter on, and drain grommets and inspection hole rings and stuff. Turn it over, the top side of it. Put this metal ring in and got it glued down to the filler neck. It shouldn't leak too much water or fuel down inside there, or water for that matter. Got this thing closed up as good as we're ever going to get it. So we'll hang it back up. Let's see, this is the left wing, and then the right wing I've got hanging up there, so I've got to get it down and finish preparing it. I've got the brown glue cleaned off of it. I got to test the fuel tank yet, and do just little bits of touch up on it, and then it'll be ready to cover. I'll have to put the cloth on the leading edge and stuff, but it's getting close to being ready. So that's where we're at with that. Okay, I'm working on the right wing, and it ready to cover. Cleaned up the gas tank. I put the piece of hose on here. Tomorrow I think I'll put some gas in the tank, make sure I don't have any leaks before I cover it. Put the metal on. I've been cleaning off the last little bit of glue and looking around for things that are not quite ready yet. But I think I've got everything pretty much ready to cover now. Oh, I've got to make the new aileron cables yet for this one. Okay. And got the left wing hanging up, and got him covered and the tapes on, and put the inspection rings and the drain grommets in, and then start doping on it. Okay, I put the drill holes and put the auxiliary fins on temporarily, and then I marked where the tail brace wires go through the lower one, so I can put the holes in the right place in the lower fins where the wires go through. Okay, yesterday and today I've been working on these fittings. I got this is one of the little auxiliary fittings. I got it welded on. And then this is where the main one goes for the apparently where the main strut attaches for the floats. I cleaned it up, but I've been trying to figure out how to get everything lined up just right. I got a little bit of a problem with that. And see, the other side will be the same way. I got these two on. Those are a little bit of a problem to get. They're supposed to be 7 degrees. Supposed to have a 7-degree outward angle, and I didn't know just how I was going to do that, and I finally figured out a way to get them set so they would do it. And then I put this fitting here on. I haven't got any idea what it's for. I kind of think these are for pulleys for the water rudder, and anyway, I got those welded on, but I haven't really figured out how I'm gonna make this just right. I'm afraid I'll get it all welded up and then it won't actually fit. So I'm a little bit stuck on that for now. Still got a lot of glue to clean off. Of course, the lower longerons have still got a lot of glue on them, and I got the glue cleaned off of the one aileron, and I got the other aileron and the flaps to clean the glue off of them yet. The stuff is really tough. It just really gives me a hard time getting that stuff off of there, but I'm sure it wouldn't work to glue anything on over it. So I'll just keep on working at it here. Okay, I've got the elevator, stabilizers, and rudder ready to cover. Put the fabric on this flap last night. Got the ailerons ready, just about. I got to put some tape on them yet. And then I got this one covered in shrink last night. I got to put a coat of dope on him here in a little bit. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. Okay, I've covered the tail surfaces, put most of the tapes on. I still haven't done the leading and trailing edges of the tapes yet. Most of the tapes. Got the all these things. I got them, the rivets in, and the reinforcing tapes, and the like I say, I haven't got the little trailing edge tapes on yet. It's a lot of little busy work. It takes lots of cutting and fitting to get all of these things together the way they belong. For those fins, see, I took that stick, and I marked where the wire should go through the fabric, and then that's marked there, and then I can, when I'm ready, I'll burn a hole in the fabric with this little soldering iron, and then hopefully that'll be in the right place, and the wire will go through that, and those will let the wire pass through, and they should be in the right place, I hope. So that's where I'm at today. I kind of got stopped here. I was going pretty good this morning, but then it started getting